"You're just a lost woman. Nobody here respects you." That's what he said, the biker with whiskey breath and a patchy beard, right before he grabbed my shirt and tore it across the shoulder. The whole bar erupted, like a pack of hyenas, thinking they'd finally stripped me down to nothing, thinking they'd finally exposed the weak spot I was trying to hide. But the second the neon light hit my skin, the second that eagle, globe, and anchor came into view, the laughter died like somebody had yanked the cord out of a jukebox. Every eye froze on me, and for the first time that night, the room finally shut the hell up. I stood there in my plain gray tee, shoulder bare, the smell of beer and cigarettes pressing down, so heavy you could chew it. The jukebox was still screaming some old rock ballad, but nobody cared anymore because in that moment I wasn't the quiet girl in sneakers they thought they could humiliate. I was something else, something they hadn't expected, and you could feel it ripple through the air. Now, let me back up a second. That night didn't start like a showdown. I hadn't walked into that bar looking for trouble. Hell, I hadn't been in a place like that for years. I'd come because an old friend from my unit reached out, left a message saying he needed to talk, and when someone from your unit calls, you don't ignore it. So I came in, ordered a water, sat at a sticky little table in the back, head down, just waiting. And that's the thing, you can try to keep small, you can try to stay invisible, but in a place like that, silence is blood in the water. The first one to circle was this guy in a leather vest. Let's just call him Patch. He leaned in from the bar, voice loud enough to rattle the glasses. "Hey, sweetheart, you lost? This ain't a place for girls like you." His buddies laughed, deep and ugly. I didn't even look up, just took a sip of my water, steady as a rock. And man, silence eats at a guy like that needed me to react, needed me to flinch. So he stomped over, boots heavy on the floor, leaned close enough I could count the stains on his vest, and spat out. "What? Too good to talk to us? You here to clean tables, or what?" His friends pounded their fists and roared like it was the funniest thing in the world. And then there was the redhead at the bar, nails painted blood red, voice sharp as broken glass, but sweet like she thought she was clever. "Oh honey, look at you. Did you pull that shirt out of the laundry basket?" She flicked her drink, the liquid splashing just shy of my hand. I slid my glass an inch to the side, slow and deliberate, and set it back down like I was measuring the table. Just that small move, and for a second, her smirk cracked. She laughed it off, sure, but I'd seen Itone's second of doubt. It kept stacking. Bald guy with the chain telling me to smile, knocking over my glass, so water spilled all down my sleeve. The old smoker, teeth yellow, saying I thought I was better than them. A younger guy with a too-new leather jacket pulling up a chair backward, grinning like he was auditioning for the role of dirtbag number 3. And through it all, I just sat there, quiet, wiping water with a napkin, folding it neat, not giving them what they wanted. The more they poked, the more I refused to bend, the more it gnawed at them. But here's the thing one of them finally noticed. Skinny kid with a faded bandana, not as loud as the rest, squinting at the scar running down my arm. Not the kind of scar you get from a kitchen accident, long, jagged, pale against my skin. He muttered to his buddy, "Looks like combat." His buddy laughed him off, but I saw his eyes. He knew. He saw me, even if nobody else did. Still, Patch wouldn't let go, circling me like a dog. And when I finally raised my eyes and asked, "You done?" Soft, steady, no more than that, it landed like a slap across his face. And that's when Big Red stepped in, the mountain of a man with arms like tree trunks, cheeks flushed with booze. He stormed over, grabbed my collar, and ripped. The sound of fabric tearing cut sharper than any shout. The whole room leaned in, waiting for weakness. Instead, they saw a Marine Corps tattoo, bold on my shoulder, lit up under the neon. The noise died. Even the jukebox felt quiet. The big guy's hand froze midair, his face slack with shock. And then, from the end of the bar, this old vet whispered, voice low but clear enough to carry, "Devil dog." It spread through the crowd like a fuse burning fast. Some sneered, sure, said it was just ink, just show. But others knew. You could see the shame crawling across their faces, the doubt in their eyes. And then came the twist. The wiry one with the chipped tooth, desperate to save face, smashed a beer bottle on the edge of the table, shards flying, his voice breaking as he yelled, "Tattoo or not, you're nothing. Prove it." He came at me, and that's when muscle memory took over. 3 seconds, that's all it took. Step, twist, hold. He crumpled, unconscious before the glass hit the floor. The bar gasped, every jaw clenched tight, every eye wide. The bartender finally spoke. Quiet guy, grizzled, with a limp in his step. He reached under the counter and set a faded Marine Corps cap on the bar. His hand trembled. "This was my brother's," he said, voice breaking. "Lost him in 91. You remind me of him." My throat tightened, but I just nodded. "He'd be proud you kept it." He looked down, eyes wet, wiping at the counter like it could hide the tears. And then the crowd shifted. People who had laughed the loudest now looked down at their boots. A trucker in flannel stood up, slamming his chair back. "You idiots don't know what you're messing with. I saw a woman like her drag a man out of fire once. You wouldn't last a second." His words cut deep, and nobody dared answer. But pride's a stubborn poison, and the biker leader, gray beard thick, belly straining his jacket, he finally stood. "Marine or not, you're still just a woman. I'll crush you." He spit on the floor, voice dripping with venom. The air snapped tight like a wire pulled to breaking. Everyone held their breath. I didn't shout. I didn't brag. I just swept his legs out and dropped him flat on his back, his air gone in one stunned wheeze. I stood over him, calm, voice steel. Once a Marine, always a Marine. That's when the old vet at the bar raised his hand, slow, deliberate, into a salute. And the room bent quiet, heads bowed, respect hanging heavy in the smoke. That night didn't just end, it echoed. The skinny kid quit the gang within a week, said he was done. The redhead got iced out of her circle, couldn't laugh it off anymore. The wiry guy's face was all over the internet, trending for all the wrong reasons. The leader lost his sponsorship with the local shop. The bar itself got quieter, jukebox choices softer, like the place had learned something. And me? I didn't go back. Didn't need to. That night wasn't about revenge, it was about truth, about standing when they expected me to break. Because that's the thing about truth, you don't need to shout it, don't need to beg for it. You just stand. And sooner or later, the world sees. So now I'll ask you, was justice served that night? Or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Argue it out. Tell me where you stand. Because the truth is, stories like this don't end when the bar door swings shut. They stick with you. They live on in the telling. And maybe, just maybe, they'll change how you see the next quiet soul sitting alone at a table.